Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yo, let me tell you something. This Friday the 13th thing. Now, I'm a bit older now, and I've only been tattooing and professionally piercing between 12 to 17 years. And I say that I say that with air quotes because I tattooed out of the house before getting an apprenticeship.
We all
and
did.
stuff.
We all
Yeah,
did.
we
Yeah.
all. I don't judge people for it. However, go get an apprenticeship, you'll learn a lot more. But when I was getting tattooed, this was not a thing. This was not a thing. I don't remember it until about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like $13 and $7 mandatory tip or whatever. And then it went to 31. Now, post-pandemic, things have changed. So my opinion about it's changed. One, we used to have a line outside the door.
Sure.
And there was no less than a 2.5 hour wait. Hour and a half was minimum. And then we would get all these people and they want to make all these changes and the shop is packed. And then now post-pandemic with all these weird diseases and they created all this fear. And I lean to the side. I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I'm of the same opinion, but my opinion is a little more aggressive than that. From what I understand, and if anybody knows different, you can correct me. Shops started doing this as a thank you to their regular clients.
Yes, and I agree with that 100%.
It was a thank you. Yes. It was a, hey, you guys support us all year long, so what we're going to do is Friday the 13th, we're going to do this special, right? $13 tattoos, and it'll be a fun thing. We're going to have food and all this shit, music, whatever it was. I think Oliver Peck did it for a long time at Elm Street. I don't know if he started it, but it was a big thing for him for a long time. And it was a thank you to clientele. That's not what it is anymore. Mm-mm. My clientele does not want anything to do with these tattoos because they're working. They want nice big pieces, fully rendered pieces. Friday the 13th crowd is now getting these outlines of tattoos, tiny, and it makes no sense. You see kids building these sleeves of these tattoos.
It costs
the problem is, absolutely, because you got cover-ups. You know, if you honestly think a tattoo artist is doing their best work for $13 and not rushing through it, you're out of your mind.
No, and even now,
there are some that do great work, right?
Some will do 31. I think most are doing my opinion on it is that anybody here can do it if they want, but no less than 66. Just because, here at this shop, and we have needles upstairs, and it doesn't normally happen. We have a mid-grade and a high-grade, but the high-grade needles are like $350 each.
Sure. So
if we're going to use 2 needles, and then now our bottles of ink went from 1 ounce bottles, they're over double or almost double now than when they were prior to the pandemic. I think I was getting 1 ounce bottles for $7.50.
Yeah, I think we said $8
or $8, and now they're over $14.
Yeah.
And here in New Jersey, everything has to have lot numbers and expiration dates. Where years ago, you didn't need all that.
Sure.
And your off yellow could have sat on the shelf or whatever, but you can't do that now.
Yeah, so it's the cost of your supply. So what are you making on that? What's the shop making on that tattoo?
Nothing. Because half the time, and half the time the shop is either doing a different split for the day, or they're telling the artist, take it all. I don't want nothing to do with it. And then there's the liability.
Paper towels, liability. That's a very good point.
Dude. Yeah, the paper towels, the plastic, the chemicals, and then you add the people. One person is going to get a very small tattoo, and they bring 6 people with them.
Yeah,
that was my problem with some of this. Is now you have so many people at the shop. Do we go back and tell everyone, oh, you got to wear? It just doesn't make sense to me, especially here, we're in the middle of New Jersey. We're not expensive. We don't border New York or Philly, so we're in a fair pricing range.
Yeah.
You can get a decent tattoo here for $150, $200.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's a composed piece. You're not going to hate it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be no cover up of it. You're not going to hate it, 6 months from now. I completely agree with you. It's one thing to do it because you're a big fan of Halloween, right? This seems to be the time of year. People want these little ghosts.
Little Jason.
Hey, get a tiny tattoo. Fine. I'm not knocking anybody for getting there hustling. But if you think that the clientele that's coming in for these tattoos is going to come in and spend $150, $200, $300 on a tattoo. It's not going to happen. You see the same people every single time on Friday the 13th.
And they go from shop to shop to
Absolutely.
shop. Because, we're not the type of tattooers that close our ranks off. Like, we have friends in the tattoo industry. That's one of the things that, like, knowing you, that's one of the things that I liked was being friendly with other tattooers, because that old feast or famine, all the clients are my clients. You're out of your mind, man. There's so many people getting tattooed.
Yeah.
But you see it, and you see these clients, you'll post it or whatever. Oh, Friday the 13th. You see that person that was in the shop that just followed you. They were at like 4 other shops.
Oh, 100%.
And then it's uncovered. They're going into those shops with a brand new uncovered tattoo. People
listen, I've never got it. Listen, we're both covered in tattoos. I have no. Well, I think we're still too old for them. Yeah. Like you said, it's only a 10-year. I just wouldn't. But my last shop, this is not bullshit. They're doing it tomorrow at their sister location, and I hope they do great. They always do. Yeah. But no bullshit. People will sit there for 8 goddamn hours.
Yes.
And wait to get these little tiny tattoos. I'd rather spend $400 than give you up 8 hours of my time.
Yeah, even when the one year we were so busy, we had like a 4-hour wait. And there were 7 of us tattooing.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Guys, Miguel brought in 2 of his friends. It's like, dudes didn't even speak English. We were just throwing them in. There were so many people here, right?
Yeah.
And it worked out. Don't get me wrong, but you turn back, and I don't remember seeing any of those people ever come back.
No, never, never.
And then again, like you said, you're waiting 4 hours. You're going to sit outside here for the next 4 hours? No.
I've seen it.
I'm going to go to the diner. I'm going to come back on a day when it's not slow, and I'm going to get right in and get right out.
And get what I want to get.
Pay whatever extra, $75 extra.
Absolutely. So needless to say,